Good evening, my gamers, my boners. I bring news. News that is not. Oh, I'm so fucking small. Why am I small? Oh, I forgot to put my. Did I put my Twitch chat back on my screen? Okay. Unrelated, you know how I used Restream the other day? I don't like it. I don't have my chat on the screen because I broke it. But I didn't like it. So we're using regular Twitch chat again because Restream stressed me out. But anyway, back to the bit. Fuck. I bring news. News that, oh fuck. News that is might be heartbreaking to some, but it needs to be said. Gamers, the notif in Discord was a lie. If you came here from Discord, it is not cock inspection day. I'm sorry. Oh fuck. I put it up there twice. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. It is not cock inspection day. I'm sorry. I know I didn't mean to lie to you like this, but that's just, it's not cock inspection day. It's a nerd. Oh, it's just me in the mirror. No, it's me. It's okay. We're all nerds here. I'm sorry. No cocks will be inspected today. It was a lie. It was a bit. It was clickbait. I'm just here to get your attention. I also fucked up my model already. Where'd my hair go? Put my hair back. No! Okay, anyway. We're gonna play the game. We're gonna play the we're gonna play the Keanu Reeves game. Will there be Ram Ranch? There very well may be. No cock? Will there be boobs? Maybe. I don't know. I know I turned on. I'm not bald. There's like I got a little bun going on. Okay, I got a little like I feel like I look like with a hairstyle like a mom that's about to die in an anime. Okay, I'm not Bald Bee. Bald Bee is not real. She's not real. Okay, but oh my god, I'm sniffly. Where's your hair? It's see, it's a bun. I'm not bald. You guys are mean to me. Are you gonna make me show off the fact that I have no legs just to fix this? Fine. Look at me. This feels so fucking, this is so fucked up. Now you're gonna see, now you made me show off that I don't have any legs and you know I'm insecure about not having legs. You guys are so fucked up. I can't believe I had to show off that I didn't have any legs to you guys. This is so fun. I have no ass, no thighs. I have nothing except my beautiful personality. All right. Anyway, we're playing Cyberpunk. Wake the fuck up, Samurai. I have no kyan. I can't stick out my kyan for the Rizzler. Sticking out your kyan for the Rizzler. You're so skibbity. What is Phantom Tax, by the way? Because I know most of those words in the fucking song. I don't know what Phantom Tax is. I do not know what Phantom Tax is. Like, what? Can someone explain that to me? I'm a fucking boomer. But anyway. She chose the right half of the model. Yeah, there's a secret hidden, like, lost media EB model. And it's just ass. It is just ass and thighs and feet. Okay, that's all it is. And you know what? It's like an ARG. You have to go find it. You have to go find my ass and my thighs. I left them at Save Mart. Okay, you gotta go get them. Chibi! Okay, I guess, well, Chibi has feet, but she's also like an egg. So like I don't know if that counts. Here, we'll go. Is this Chibi? Back to Chibi. There we go. Okay. Also, whenever I load up Chibi, her cheeks are like all puffy. I don't know why that is. I'm pressing like, I know there's a button to turn that off. I don't remember what it is. Girl, why do you have a butt face? Stop having a butt face, forehead. Oh my god, you see that? She got butt face. She got butt face. Can I fix that? If I don't fix that, it's gonna bother me. Hold up, what is it? F1. There we go. Okay, all right. Let's go over. He used a tax system, but with food instead of money. Well, you can't. What is? You owe a part of your food? Oh, okay. I think I get now. Thanos copycat. Yeah, copyright strike me, Marvel. I fear no one. I fear no god. Okay. Time to party like it's 2077. Okay, we're gonna play the fucking game now. Let me make myself little, okay? And I gotta like recalibrate my face because it's a new model. It's a new model. I also feel like my physics are really high on this model. I feel like I jiggle a lot and I look like I'm high a lot, but that's okay. that's fine. Chat is fat. It is the big head potion. I'm little now. I want. Wait, why is chat so big? God damn it! You know how I was having issues, by the way, with my headset at the Baldur's Gate stream? Fucking, I got a new headset. I literally set up my new headset 10 minutes before stream while eating a salad. But welcome in, everybody! We are gonna be playing Cyberpunk 2077. I hope I get to see Keanu Reeves naked. That's it. Real talk though, I do think this is gonna be a really fun game to stream. I've been wanting to stream this for a while. Big shout out to Swiss Roll Ninja, who's a mod here, but she can't always be here because she's British. But that's okay. We love her even though she's British. No one's perfect. And she gifted me this game for my birthday, and I am just now getting to play it, so I'm very excited. So shout out to Swiss. Hi Swiss, I love you, bestie. But yeah, okay. We're gonna play on easy because I'm a little bitch. The right choice for players who just want to sit back and enjoy the story. That's me. I don't wanna think. I just want to enjoy the story. Oh, okay. Oh, it's lore time. Okay. Nomad, roaming the Badlands, looting scrapyards, raiding fuel Home Depot. Life on the road wasn't easy, but growing up in a nomad clan has its perks. Honesty, integrity, and a love of freedom. Qualities that few in Night City possess and no amount of money can buy. So here's the thing, is every time we do a game like this, I'm usually role-playing as one of my OCs or a character. I think because I'm not familiar with Cyberpunk, like I'm not familiar with the tabletop RPG either. This is my first exposure to any CD Projekt Red stuff. I'm just gonna be a Mary Sue. Okay, I'm just gonna be a Mary Sue, and I'm gonna do my own thing. Okay, I'm not showing tits. I've deleted all of the genitals. There's no more genitals anywhere, ever. Do not look in your pants. Your genitals are gone. I have snapped them like Thanos. Goodbye. Why? Well, because I like to do a little trolling. Okay, I feel like Evie would be a corpo. Is that an insult? What? I'm not a corpo! I mean, I'm a girl boss, but I'm not. Okay, wait here. We'll read Street Kid, then we'll see if I'm being insulted. They say if you want to understand the streets, you gotta live them. Gangs, fixers, dolls, smart time pushers. You were raised by them all. Down here, the law of the jungle dictates the weak serve the strong. The only law in Night City you have yet to break. Whoa, okay. Corpo. Few leave the corp. Few leave the corporate world with their lives. Few are still with their souls intact. You've been there. You've bent the rules, exploited secrets, and weaponized information. There's no such thing as a fair game, only losers or winners. So, like, I'm basing it off of my VTuber lore. So it's like, we're kind of Mary Sueing it. I feel like with my VTuber lore, I would be a corpo, technically. Like, she could also qualify as street kid. I don't know. You know what? We'll go corpo. I'll be a corpo cunt, okay? And we'll run with it. All right. Body type.
Gaslight.
That one.
Girl boss.
Blah. Sex haver. Wait. No. Oh my God. Does that say Xavier? Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know if it's a sex haver or I'm so sorry. Welcome to the stream. You know, Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss. If your name is Blah Sex Haver, then like, hell yeah, I love sex. But like, if it's not, and I read it wrong, I'm so sorry. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, we're just gonna make me because I'm a basic bitch, and this is my Mary Sue time. What's the voice tone?
I'm V.
Oh, okay, that's like just.
I'm
okay.
V.
There's no like other voices. Okay, that's fine. Here we go. Let's do. I'm pale as shit. Like even my model's pale as shit. I'm pale as shit. So you're gonna be pale as shit. Like I feel like none of these are pale enough, low key. So like, why can't we be paler? I think that one will work because I have like cool tone skin. Okay. Do preset 2 on the left. Ooh, they're cool looking. Skin type, bad. Skin type is actually no. I have pretty good skin now. I get zits from time to time, but I take good care of my skin. I got a routine. Okay, it's all things I've acquired at Marshall's, but I do have a skincare routine. There is another universe out there where I'm a beauty influencer, okay? When I was in was it 2016, 2017, I wanted to be the next fucking, what was her name? What was it? I can't remember. It wasn't Jaclyn Hill, but there was this one beauty influencer I really liked, and I was like, I want to be her. I want to make my own tutorials and shit like that. But I feel like if I did become a beauty influencer, I feel like I would have gotten canceled really quickly. I feel like I'm too vulgar for doing makeup tutorials. I don't think I'm bad at makeup. Bisexual hair! Wait, that hair is bisexual! Do you see it? It's the bi flag! Wait, is this hair lesbian? Lesbian hair! Bisexual hair! Is this pan hair? Oh my god. Whoa. They made sexuality real. That's so crazy. That's so cool. See, it's not canon, but Oliver, thank you for the hydrate. It's not canon, but I kind of want bisexual hair. It's trans hair, I think. Fuck yeah. Okay. Let's do. This one's also cool. A lot of the gradients are really cool. That's the thing is here's the thing. My OC is kind of basic, and the reason my OC is basic is because it's me in real life before I started dyeing my hair. So I kind of want to just go all out. You know, the cotton candy hair, I really like, but I also really like this one. We're gonna be bisexual hair, okay? Bisexual hair. Eyes. Oh, she's zooming in. What? I can't. How do I rotate her? I need you. No, cancel. No. Okay, there we go. I wanted to look at her face. Okay. Oh, I see what's happening. Oh, good night, gamer. Have a good rest. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Let's do this one. I want her to look kind of cunty. And then her eye color. Oh my god. Wait, that's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about shit like this. Ooh. Hypnosis. I think we'll just do purple. Okay. This is definitely some Ebony Darkness Dementia Ray bullshit I'm pulling, but I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Make my eyebrows blue. Fuck it. Oh wait, bisexual brows! Oh, I don't like the way those look actually. Make them blue. Dark blue. I want dark blue eyebrow. No! Can I not have dark, navy blue eyebrows? I have to be pink? I don't want that. Alright, this is fine, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Eyelash color, that's fine. I'm honestly, fine with most of it, low-key. Yeah, this is fine. I'm okay to keep it. What is cyberware? Ooh! Okay. Okay. Ooh. Whoa! Ooh. I want that one. I want the neck one. Piercing color. Where's the... Do I want piercings? Do I? I can't even see what I'm doing. I think it's just okay, that's fine. Eye makeup color. This is what I really care about, right? Give her horror makeup. Because that's what we're about to do. That's what the plan is for today. Hi, awesome! Welcome in, gamer! We are Cyberpunk Gaming. Hi, Johnny. Welcome in, everybody who just came in. We are starting Cyberpunk. I've been wanting to start this game for a really long time, and I just kept, forgetting I had it, deadass. And then I was like, oh, shit, yeah. So I'm really excited for this. Let's do... I don't want it to look too edgy. I want it to be classy still, right? We're a corpo cunt, okay? I don't know what the dress code is in fucking Amazon in 2077. That's what I'm assuming corpo is. It's just we work for Amazon. But I want to be sure, you know. I don't know how I feel about the dubba. She needs to have lipstick, but yeah, that's fine. That looks good. That looks good. And oh, nails. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Okay, she's kind of cunty. She's kind of cunty. I'm into it. I love it. Okay. Body. Wait! I can make her thick? Oh, wait, no. This is abilities. This is ability. Hi, JK. Reserved cuntiness. I can do reserved cunty. I can do that. I have 7 points. Technical ability, intelligence. Did you get the DLC? I did not. So we're gonna try it. Like, this is my first time playing any Cyberpunk stuff. And we're gonna try it, and if we like it and it becomes a regular game, we'll probably get the DLC, and we'll do it together. So we're gonna see. Let's do technical ability, because I'm a smarty McFarty. We're gonna do body, because I'm hot, and I have a hot body, so, like, that needs to be there. I'm very cool, and I have reflexes, and I have, what am I gonna, I know this is gonna, like, this is something where it's like, I need to pick, like, a stat I put most of my shit into. Rifles, what is this one? Technical ability. Tech weapons, reflexes, I put the rest, yeah, we're just gonna put everything in body, because I'm thick, and I like thick guns, okay? I got a fatter ass and a fatter barrel, if you know what I'm saying, okay? I actually don't even know what I'm saying. Alright. Alias V. Sure. Can I change my name? Or is it just that? I don't really care, honestly. I'm down to fucking climb. But let's go, okay? We can respec later. Okay, that helps. Once I know what's going on, we'll be okay. Also, it feels like every time lately, whenever we start a new game, I have a salad. And today is no different. While the cutscenes are playing, I will be eating my salad. So I apologize in advance. If you hear me eating my salad. Oh, fuck! Spacebar. I didn't see it said press thing. Okay. Keanu, baby. He is, baby. Oh, shit. I'm hot. Mommy. Oh, did I just throw up? No, don't throw up. I was literally eating my salad.
V.
That's gross.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here.
Are you, girl?
Fine.
Damn.
Just
Hot in front of my
needed a
salad.
breather.
Yeah, she tossed her salad.
Sounded like you blew your guts airlock.
Wait. That's
yeah,
not what that means.
I barfed. It's just stress.
Oh, shit.
Esa chamba te va a matar.
You know what? This is very me. This job's gonna kill you. Yeah, that's me. I'm not dead yet.
Don't worry.
Chumba.
I'm not dead yet.
Exactly. Yet.
That sounds like David.
Anyway.
Take a work.
What's going on?
Take a break from work. You're going to die. Oh my god. Right in front of your salad. Hi, Jelly. Welcome in, gamer. We have super fast Jelly and Jolly Fool. Oh, wait, no.
We
what?
had a leak.
That's
My
two
boss
different
called.
words. I
Dragged
just
me
can't
in
read.
because we had to
Wait, what?
intervene. Everyone at Night City HQ is on edge.
But no way
He used to
you're
be
far,
Elon
right?
Musk. Stop, that's so
You're
funny.
the one who fixes other people's
Maybe you
shit.
could have been in Cyberpunk
Jackie,
if you didn't fuck
if you
over
work in
Twitter,
Arasaka
Elon.
County Intel, you're always fucked.
Oh my god. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Don't worry about me. I'll manage on my own.
I'm good.
Buena suerte.
Alright. First time in Night City, pay close attention to the tutorials to learn more about the basic mechanics of the game. Okay. I don't know shit. Any plans on here going romance? I am going into this completely blind. I have no fucking idea who anyone is, how to play the game. This is literally completely blind. So, I'll say this. I'm bisexual and I'm ready. So, oh. Hey.
Are you all right?
Wait, why are you guys just... Are you guys just hanging out in the stall? Okay. What's in here? Oh, I can't go in there. Okay. How do I get out of the bathroom? Is it over here? There we go. Okay. Why are you guys hanging out? Is this like fucking high school? You guys are sneaking off to smoke in the bathroom? I thought in 2077 everyone vaped. Is that just the meta? Is that not it? Can we not vape in public? Like, I don't vape, but like, figure out to find a way to make that safe now or some shit.
History, the onset of American
Glad to see
prohibition,
that,
the end of World War
silly
I,
looking haircuts are still
and
meta.
the birth of Saburo Arasaka. From an early age, Saburo was
Christ, V, you were supposed to be here an hour ago.
I'm busy.
as a young
I
man.
got held
Got
up.
held up, but I'll be right there.
Fucking Frankfurt. That Abernathy bitch will probably dump it in our
Oh
laps.
shit, something's
Ugh,
happening.
Hanging up. I'll be in my office. You hurry up.
I'm working on it,
Arasaka
okay?
enlisted as a pilot
This
in the
elevator
Nippon
only goes so
the
fast.
Japanese Imperial Navy. By the age of 23, he had
Can I
already
leave?
achieved the rank of lieutenant.
I just gotta wait.
With
Okay.
20
Excuse me, sir. Can I run?
Hey, V.
Gotta make that meeting.
Emergency protocols active.
Gotta make that meeting.
All system
Wait, what?
security
Did I pass
confirmed.
it? Oh shit.
Once everyone else is safe, we should stay
Use it.
It's me, Frank.
Hey.
I met during Icefall. East Coast, remember?
Oh, how you been?
I didn't know you were in Night City.
I'm
Have you
too
been?
nice. Even if I'm in a rush, I'll be like, oh my
you know how it
god,
is.
hey.
A week ago, I was still in Cape Town.
I think everyone just
I heard
smokes.
you're in
Oh,
counter
okay, they
intel.
just smoke inside.
Must have a shit show on your hands right now after Frankfurt. Jenkins is your lead, right?
Yeah.
Is he what everyone says he is?
I do gotta run.
Listen, sorry, I'm in a bit of a rush right now. We'll talk another time, okay?
Sure, sure. Good seeing you again.
Sorry. Okay. I gotta get to my meeting. I gotta get to my fucking meeting. Okay.
Please enter the antechamber.
The what now? The fuck is the antechamber? What? What is scan? Is it a security thing?
Visitor authorization
Oh, okay.
granted.
Hi.
online.
Hello.
Have a seat, V. Be right with you.
Okay.
We have to handle this voting issue before we lose our
shit.
bases in the Sea of Clouds. They're about to begin. What's the situation?
European Space Council. Is the European Space Council still like canon since the EU isn't a thing? Was the EU still a thing when this game
just
came
as we
out?
thought.
Or did that happen already? Am I allowed to talk about that?
You know what to do.
Well,
Start
oh
now.
yeah. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about. Anyway. Anyway.
Director Abernathy.
Hi.
I watched the vote. What the
Hi.
hell was that?
A deep clean.
What
After
I
the
meant to
shit
say, for
Frankfurt
some reason,
dumped on
I
us.
was like, I thought they
As
were
we
British.
agreed,
I had
I
canon them
got
all
rid
to
of
be
the problem.
British.
I told you to resolve the problem.
So I
not
was like,
mess with the
oh,
European Space
are they still
Council.
part of the
Do you
EU?
understand what the
Did you think
cover-up will
Brexit
cost?
dismantled the EU?
We
Kind of.
lost the license. Now we gained a week.
Listen.
That's a win.
Listen.
Path of least resistance always. No
I try
nuance,
to
as
not
you've
look at the
written all
news
over
too
it.
much. It makes
We're
me
not
depressed.
done talking
Okay,
about
I just.
this.
It's, I don't. You know what?
I
Well
hate
played.
that
Anything I
bitch.
say makes me look
I
bad.
always have.
It's not the first time she screwed you.
This isn't the first time Abernathy set
The
you
United
up.
States of America collapsed in 1995.
No, not the first.
So there was no.
Smeared me in front
Never
of
mind.
Japanese execs, so she'd be the one promoted to director
Never
of
mind.
Spec Ops.
That is it. That is
Cunt.
it. I can't. Well,
Now she's holding a gun
Yes,
to
I
my
can.
head to make sure I don't
so that
try
means there was no
anything.
9/11.
But she won't pull the trigger because she needs me. I do what she doesn't have the guts to do.
Divide and conquer.
Oh,
Effective strategy.
Vintage 9/11.
Effective. What would
Can
you
I be real
do
with you,
in
chat?
my
Am I allowed
position?
to joke about that now? Because I don't know. I genuinely don't know
You have to
if I'm
defend
allowed
yourself.
to make dino. Like, is
Remind
that? Are
Abernathy
we
you're
allowed?
not her
Like, are we
doormat.
all in agreement that that's like?
You're right.
As long as I'm not a dick
Smack
about
her
it.
once,
like,
but hard. She'll respect
Is
you.
that allowed? Is that allowed? Because if it's not, please tell me. I have no
Seems we
sense of
see
social
eye
cues.
to eye on this issue.
Okay. Mods. Mods have given the all clear on 9/11 jokes. I'm really
this.
glad I remembered to say the word jokes. EB Games mods did not do 9/11. That's not what happened. Hi, Atma. Welcome to the stream. Wait, take shard. What's a data shard? What's that?
The data shard.
Proof of my trust. Go on.
Mods did
Take it.
9/11. Oh my god. Alright, I'll take it. God damn it.
It's what I've collected over
We're
the
not
past
bringing
weeks.
the 9/11 threesome
Biometrics,
story into this
trauma
stream.
team card,
We're
names
not
of her
doing
closest
it.
associates, driver, chief of security,
Shit, fuel.
lover, lover's husband,
Okay,
everything.
I'm listening. I'm paying
Use
attention to
it
the game.
and
Everyone
make
shut
sure
up.
Abernathy
The what?
won't be a problem anymore.
I will tell
You said
it
it.
really fast.
I need to
Basically,
defend myself.
one time, me and David hooked up with this guy, and after we finished hooking up,
What'll
the way
happen
he
if I
broke the
refuse?
silence after all
Don't
that
ask
finished was
stupid
he asked me
questions.
and David where we were on
This
9/11.
isn't a request.
And out of
V.
all the questions you can
We
ask
seem to
after
understand
a
each other.
menage a trois,
Take this,
I
too.
think that's probably one of the worst ones. But he
Use
ended
this
up
money
being
only.
kind of a dick.
Find the right people
but it
for
was
the job.
really funny.
No corporate affiliation. And for the core task, use someone you know inside out. Are we clear?
Out of
Yeah.
everything you could say,
We're clear.
And I guess the thing that was like the weirdest is
In that case,
afterwards he started like
I'll
trauma
await your
dumping.
report.
Like he
And
literally,
good luck with
like we
it.
were all sitting there butt ass
I have
naked,
my AV
and he was
waiting
like,
outside.
Yeah,
It's
I
yours
remember
to
being in
use.
3rd grade.
And
We all
don't
got sent home from
disappoint me.
school, and I was so scared. And I'm like,
Jenkins, Night City.
can I put my clothes back on? Can I? Are we done? We're dead.
I have those reports you asked for.
Can you send them to me? I'm busy.
I don't have the time. Just send them my way.
Well, we could be a little more polite about that. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. Okay, I can switch with Z.
You
Oh,
alive?
hey.
How's things in the Viper Pit?
Viper Pit's putting it lightly.
Viper Pit. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better.
You in some trouble?
But that is the story.
Not yet. Just
for those
need a soul I can
uninitiated.
trust for now.
There's like 3
sound
stories
like
on
a
this
yes.
channel that I tell like
Meet
once
me at
every month
Lizzie's
because people ask
here in an
about
hour.
them. And that is, it's like your initiation to being an EB Games viewers. You get to hear like the catfucker story, the 9/11 story. There's
I
probably
need your
another
stamp
one.
on
I
something.
don't remember
It's
what
possible
it is.
one of our assets
Alright.
was exposed.
Read the report on your personal terminal. How do I do that?
Well, if you're in a hurry, I completely understand.
Hi. Open drawer. Pick up the card. Trauma team. Oh, insurance. Oh, that's good. Cognitive booster. What's that? Oh shit! I just did drugs. Okay. You know, I where I'm from, we do not call that a cognitive booster. That did not. Is that just meth? Is that what we're calling it these days? Messages. Okay. Is this the stuff I need to read? Or is this like unimportant? Red Bull for your brain. Red Bull gives you wings. And crippling addiction issues. I'm just kind of skimming through these. I don't know if any of these are important. Okay. This is the thing I need to read, right? After assessing data collected from contact reports in Utah, Nevada, Arizona, and Montana, we did not confirm any active NUSA efforts against Arasaka assets or operations in federal territories. Oh, it's just lore. Okay. Well, I like lore, but we're streaming, so I'll read it later. Because usually I don't read stuff while I'm streaming, because I want to gotta keep it moving, gotta keep it going. All right, we gotta keep it moving. What? Oh, that's the door. Okay. Go to the AV garage. Okay. All right.
I have nothing to add.
Huh? Okay. She has nothing
Tell
to add.
your people to be careful.
All right.
Did you
There
see
we
the
go.
report on the vote? I mean, shit.
I like your hairstyle.
The world's
She
going to
kind of
tear
looks
us
like
apart when the
Amberelle
word
from the
gets
Food
around.
Network.
The world's never going to find
I love that lesbian. All right. Here we go.
Know the truth. They won't know it.
Scanning.
Access granted.
Yay. Okay. Ooh, is that mine? Is this mine? Ooh, don't mind if I fucking do. Okay. The new USA, the states east of the Rocky Mountains.
Please provide your destination.
Oh, okay. Bring up district analytics.
Bring
first,
up
I guess?
district analytics.
That's cool,
Increased
though.
NCPD presence and activity has been
I'm
reported
a bougie
in
bitch.
Haywood.
Hi, Justin.
No official
Welcome.
statement has
I'm
been
a corpo
forthcoming.
cunt.
Intercepted radio
I
communications.
need to stop saying the word
suggest max
cunt
tag
so
has been
often.
sent
My
to the
mom
area.
doesn't like it.
A widespread power failure
But I
has
think
been
it's really
reported in
funny.
Santo Domingo.
It's your bosses?
All
Oh,
other
okay.
districts
Well,
exhibit
that's
activity
fine.
within expected parameters.
Well, it's like one of those things where my mom's like, you're an adult. I'm not going to yell at you for saying the word cunt, but like, I don't like
Destination.
it. And I'm like,
Lizzie's
oh.
bar.
Noted.
Okay.
Route.
Yeah, take a drink. Fuck yeah. This is for me. We're relaxing. Man. Turn that shit. Yeah, fuck it up. All these other people worked so hard for me to get here. I didn't do shit. Switch on the
This is N54 News broadcasting with a breaking story for you.
fish.
Conference of the European Space Council
Alright, well, this is going on
reached to a
again.
grisly halt following a failure in a neural stabilization
Is that his
system.
tabletop? Yeah.
5 European Space Council
David
members
has the
are
rulebook
dead,
for it, and I
while
wanna
3
play it at
remain
some
in
point.
critical condition.
We just haven't found people that
Authorities
will be
are
into
still
it, you know?
looking into what might have caused this
But I
shocking
want to try
incident.
it.
The council members were all wearing Biotechnica
I'm usually not
provided
a sci-fi kind of person, so I was kind of nervous about trying this. I'm usually very much a high fantasy kind of bitch, but I like what I see so far. I like the vibes.
On developments as they come to light. Stay with M54 News for the latest.
Very cool. Alright. Also, shout out to David for making me this salad. To look at my found table. Oh,
Yes.
congratulations!
We
I
weren't
hope you
scheduled
enjoy
to
it.
connect until the end of the week.
Quantified Satori received notification of a somewhat troubling biometric reading. I felt I should call. Is everything in order?
It's dandy.
Things are dandy. Everything is.
Just think back to our last session. The neuromotor relaxation exercises 3 times a day. They'll soothe and
She's
lift
rich
your
enough to have a
spirit.
life coach.
I
Goddamn.
notice.
Sure, okay.
I mean, like, I guess
See
the
you
life
later.
coach is just a therapist. But I feel like a life coach is like, aren't most life coaches scams? Is that fucked up? That's probably the, like, I don't know. I feel like I see, to be fair though, my experience with life coaches is what I see on TikTok. And like, did anyone see that life coach on TikTok that tried to like tell people that if you like used essential oils in your eyeballs, you wouldn't need glasses anymore? That's what I think of when I think of life coach. So my definition of life coaches is kind of skewed. He is a
designated landing site has been detected at the destination.
Find a
Cyberpunk
spot
2020
close to
and
the
it's a lot
bar,
of fun.
as
Oh,
close
cute.
as you can. Fuck procedures.
Fuck procedures.
Initiating landing
I like her.
sequence based on new
I like our
parameters.
character. She's just like me, for real, for real. There's a lady. Yeah, the aesthetic is very interesting. My PC is also very warm. Alright. Don't need glasses if you're blind. True, true. Yeah, so she's not entirely wrong.
What's your
you know.
problem, Psycho Suit?
Huh?
This look like a landing pad to you? Could have
Okay,
fucking
fuck you.
crushed us. Jesus Christ.
Don't fuck with me!
No, hey, we ain't looking for no beef with you.
Let me, I land wherever I fuck I want. Got my dick. Alright. Photo. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
Seems trouble wants in.
Damn right. Keep an eye on
Keep
the
an eye
AV.
on the AV for me, will ya?
This is Evie's
I don't
court.
get paid
Yeah,
to do
fuck
that.
yeah it is.
I wasn't asking. And not a scratch on it when I get back.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Lizzie's.
Thank you. Alright. Let's go. I'm the top bitch. I'm the not bottom bitch. For once, this feels good. Alright. Let's see. Hi, Ninja. Welcome in here. Alright, let's see. What's up? What's up? You come here often?
There's that cream new place. We went there yesterday.
Let's see.
Huh.
What's up? What's up?
Drawing a blank.
Meet with Jackie. I just want to, like, look around and see what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know what's up. Are we doing drugs? Can I come? Okay. Vending machine? What's that? I think I just spent money on accident. Whoopsie. Well, hopefully I bought a cool thing. What's in here? Ooh. Bro, we're not even an hour in and I can get laid? Oh, fuck yeah. Fluorescent lipstick. Torn fishnets. Bluegrass. Give it. Mine. I want to be the whore now. Okay. That's convenient. They have showers right next to the fucking room. All in one. What a steal. Okay. Let's see. Where's Jackie? Jackie's over here. Is there like stairs, or am I just gonna Skyrim this shit and jump down like an idiot? I come in with such a badass entrance, and then it's like, what is this bitch just jumping down the stairs? The fight. Okay. Alright, you good? You alright? Oh, you are not alright. Okay. Ooh, pretty lights. Alright, here we go.
Don't
Hey,
come
dude.
here often, do you? It's good to see you,
Can I
Chica.
sit? What's up?
Now sit down and tell me what's got your shorts in a knot.
It's good to see
It's good to see you too, Jack. How you been?
I got sparks
I'm so used to
flying between the
Skyrim,
Valentino
I, like,
boys and
I
Maelstrom.
feel so stupid when I
Eddie's
talk
there
and
for
then
the taking,
and my
as
character
long as you don't
starts
get
talking.
flatlined. Yeah, I know how it is. I can't complain, but we ain't here to shoot the shit about me. Let me hear about this problem of yours.
Well, take a look. Actually, this needs to stay between us. Don't tell nobody.
Jackie, before I start, this stays between us.
Por supuesto.
I'm serious. This thing, it
I
could
like
ruin
him. I
me.
like this vibe.
So could I. You do realize
why
who
you
you're
guys
talking
like
to, right? A guy who's done this before. Remember what happened in Mexico at the border? I peep one word.
I know. You saved my ass. If word about the cartels had gotten out...
But it didn't. And this won't either. That's why you
I'm
came to
just
see
making
dear
sure.
old Jackie.
Covering all my bases. All right, take a look-see.
Data shard. Take it.
It's for you. What? Oh, he put it in his little thing. I thought he ate it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why the fuck would you eat that?
What do you think?
Won't come cheap. It'll have to be done on the sly. No trail. Hard eddies only.
What does that mean?
Got the money.
Full crew job for sure.
Oh, okay.
Techie, maybe two. A runner with a gold-plated brain. And a driver with wheels from hell. Not to mention, a solo.
A what now?
The piece I'm missing.
That what you need from me? My trigger finger to zero this lady?
I need someone I can trust.
Delicate situation, I know. That's why I need somebody I can trust.
This ain't no delicate situation, hermana. It's a hit job. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
You know how Arasaka operates. Or... Okay, maybe you don't.
Yeah,
This isn't a professional request I can refuse.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, who the
I
fuck
can.
is Eddie?
And I am.
I'm the piece
And you
you're
should
missing.
too.
Oh, hello, ma'am.
Now,
Thank you.
what do you say we liquor up and talk life?
Thank you.
Gracias, mamita. Double tequila with grenadine and lime.
Oh, hell yeah!
Nothing better for drowning nerves.
Fuck yeah! Let's go!
To this.
Shot,
Was that
shot,
a toast?
Shot,
What the hell does that even mean?
What?
You raise a glass to your mama, your hermana, to the mamacita you'll meet at the bar, but this doesn't say a damn thing.
Sorry,
To this.
I lack social cues. I'm
This
sorry. I
job
just
and all
want
the
to
rest of
drink
that
alcohol.
corpo bullshit. You know what it is? Un pacto con el diablo. Been saying it all
Pact
along.
with the devil.
Sold your soul to those
We
Arasaka
thought you were.
fuckers.
I'm sorry.
Today,
I thought
they
the
got
other
you to
option was
zero
just don't
somebody.
drink and not do
Tomorrow,
alcohol at all.
I'll get somebody else
Which is
to zero
perfectly
you.
fine if you don't want to drink. That's valid. I don't judge you. But I want to drink. Think I have a choice?
Think I have a choice? If
I
I
am
refuse,
cool.
they
Shut
take
up.
everything and leave
I'm
me
very
nothing.
neato burrito.
Well, let them. They'll also take the fist they got gripping your balls.
No,
I don't know
not my
about you,
balls.
but I'm pretty picky about who I let touch my balls. And Saburo and his matones, oh, they definitely do not make the cut.
Maybe someday.
I'm almost
for
the
now,
aura. It's not
I'm
going to be
still
what you
well
expect.
within their reach.
You'll always be within reach. Always. Hey, you lost?
Huh?
Got a problem?
Hey.
V, is that right?
I don't know you.
Did Jenkins send you? Don't believe I know you.
You don't, but we know you very well. Jenkins assigned you a task today. You'll share all the details with us.
No.
No, don't believe I will.
Yeah,
That's
no.
between
Fuck
me
you.
and Jenkins.
Your stupid little red suit. Oh, wait, what?
How you feeling? Pretty sharp dive, huh?
Wait, they took my money!
Your access to company networks is hereby revoked.
My money!
In 2 minutes, any company cybernetics in your possession will cease functioning. Give us the data you received from Jenkins. This will conclude termination procedures.
What are you talking about? How'd you know?
How the hell did you find out?
Wait, they took my
That
titties?
is not your concern.
What?
The
What do you mean they
data,
took our milk?
now.
They took my titties? Shit, I don't got another choice. Here you go.
Information's on the shard.
Smart choice.
They took my pussy?
We done?
With the formalities,
Corporate America
yes.
stole my
But I
pussy!
think Abernathy would gladly up our fee for
Give
bringing
it
her
back!
a rot like you.
This is so
Stand
fucked
up.
up!
You're coming with us. Come on, move
No!
I think
That's
you
how
fellas might have
capitalism
forgotten
gets
just
you.
how far from
Capitalism
home you are.
stole my coochie!
Not sure this barrio's your style, let alone a healthy option.
up, Jackie?
Maybe we join in, huh? Before you know it, somebody might die today.
So it feels to work for you,
We have
boss.
what we came for.
God
It'll
damn
do
it.
for now.
Yeah, back up, motherfucker. Want me to sell out your boss and attempt to get promoted? Yeah, I would. I have no loyalty to anybody.
Dodged one there. V, how you feel? You alright?
Corporate America stole my pussy should be a political slogan. People joke, they're like, Evie, run for president. You do not want me to run for president. Oh my god. Like, you think you want that, you do not. Oh, sorry. I feel like shit. Let's talk about my failed political campaign.
My throat's like sandpaper.
Oh,
Not
fuck.
sure I can breathe.
I'm having
It's
an
like when my
asthma attack.
little primito was ditching drugs.
God damn it.
Nasty chills, trembling hands, cold sweat, and dry heaving.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Hey, should I get you to a Ripper? Or, I guess, maybe drama team's on its way.
I don't have anything. They took my cooch.
TT policy's gone, Jack. So are my biochem controllers, company pad. I mean, they have seized my bank account. Not frozen, seized.
Oh, shit.
Jesus, these fuckers move fast. You sure you feel okay, though? I mean...
No. No, I do not feel okay. Here, I guess I have to say this.
Give me a minute. Get my shit together. That'd be that, Jack. Just lost control of my life. Completely.
I'd say you got it back.
Ignore my salad.
Couldn't say no to
Pay
him.
attention to the story.
So they said it to you. This is a turn for the better. You'll see. Besides, you haven't
I feel
lost
like in some
everything.
scenarios saying everything happens for a reason is like good.
I have to say, I still have
But
a
if
friend.
I lost my
That's
entire bank account and someone was like,
No.
everything happens for a reason, I think I'd punch
You
them
still
in the
got
throat.
that wad for the hit
Like-
job, don't you? Probably some fat-ass chunk of cha-ching.
And they stole my
Just
pussy.
right for a new start.
I got no
That's
job,
right, chica.
no pussy, and no money.
Up.
Like,
Hey,
I don't think
You're
this is a
all right?
one door closes, another opens.
what?
I think I'm just
V,
gonna fucking.
V.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna fucking die.
hermana.
See? I'm dead. I
life.
died. That's the game. Good night.
It
Goodbye.
starts
Like.
now.
What?
Hello there, Night City!
Hi.
Stanley here with you, and we got another day ahead of us in this city of dreams. Ooh, I love this town. Love it like you might love a mother who popped you out on the steps of an orphanage once and now stops you to ask if you got a smoke for her.
What is going on?
Every new day here means 100 new
I think I'm
arrivals,
doing
but
crime.
only half these gonks will survive a year, and that's if it's a good one. And why do these peeps come to NC? Well, to be street samurai like Morgan, Blackhand, and Waylon Boa Boa. The greater the risk, the bigger the bounty, kids. So they say, but you can
I
only
would
be a
like to
major
do
league
Narcos
player for
season
so
3.
long. The faster you live, the faster you burn out. If you don't get a bullet to the brain first.
Wait, my teeth! Oh, I'm fucked up. Oh shit. Hi, Skylar. Yes, take your meds. I did take my meds today, but I forgot yesterday, and I got really sad. And then I remembered, oh shit, I didn't take my meds. But thank you. Oh shit!
Matters not where you're
There's
from.
something really funny to
Matters
me
not
about
where
like,
you start.
remember to take your meds.
What
Remember
matters
to eat,
here
drink water,
is
and
the
then
walk you walk.
Oh yeah.
In Night City.
Yeah.
The city
Yeah.
of dreams.
City of dreams, baby. Oh, I'm about to fuck some bitches up. Okay.
The chick we're looking for is somewhere in this building.
Who are we looking for?
Probably crawling with the pendejos that kidnapped her. Eyes and ears open, all right?
All right.
Speaking of which, got you a little something. Militech training shard.
Huh?
In case you need to brush up on your dance moves.
Okay.
Down for some target practice in VR?
I would like to do the tutorial.
Sure.
I'm stupid.
Why the hell not?
Streamer mode nudity is turned off. I couldn't find streamer mode, but copyright music is off and nudity. So I couldn't find like a streamer mode button.
Let's begin with basic combat training. This session will be recorded for subsequent evaluation.
Okay. Wait.
This course is designed to reinforce your fundamental combat abilities and hone your reflexes. The skills you gain here will help you survive, even excel on the battlefield.
Excel.
I will train you to be effective with firearms, to use stealth tactics to your advantage, and to hack into enemy networks.
I'll give you the rock. But
Because at
congratulations.
Militech,
Oh shit. Oh, hey, a woman.
Militech can't encrypt for shit. But they clearly
damn.
got drill and jar heads in their
Yeah,
blood.
you tell him.
Now, Station 1, you maggot! Move!
Oh, no. Alright, let me give the VIP real quick. VIP. Me. Congratulations, Julian. Did I spell your fucking name right? I think so. We're about to find out. Okay.
Let's do a tactical target practice program. You know, a little warm-up.
Gaslight Geeky Pro Boss. Okay, it worked. Thank you for the hydrate, though. It's Coca-Cola. I hope that's okay. Alrighty, pick up the weapon. Pick up that can. Now put it in the trash. Alright, let me posture check. Everything is Half-Life 2 to me. I'm sorry. Everything is Half-Life. Okay, where are the targets? Oh! Fake! Oh shit. Fake!
Yeah, I didn't think you'd find that too tough.
Okay, I'll be honest with you
What
guys.
do you say we crank it up
The
a
one
notch?
reason I've held off on this game for so long is I'm really bad. I'm really not good at FPS games. If you judge me,
but it's more realistic.
I'll cry.
If the
That's
target's
it. There's no
packing
like
iron.
funny punchline. There's no gotcha moment. I will just cry. I will just sob and shit my pants. Okay. Ooh, big gun.
Quit standing around and take cover.
Oh, God! Oh, press C to crouch in behind cover. Okay. Okay. Ah! That's not how guns work. Hold on. I wasn't ready. Okay. Thank you. I'm doing my best. Okay, stop it. All right.
You took a hit. Use a reanimator.
Wait,
to
there's
patch
a
yourself
dildo?
up.
Yeah, can I just swing on a dildo? Can I just like fucking beat the shit out of them with a dildo like Saints Row 3? Can I do that? How do I use the... Okay, there we go. Okay. And then I use the inhaler.
Head to the training area when you're good to go.
Okay, did I win? Did I pass? Thank you, this guy.
Look,
I'm trying.
brought some shrooms with him this time. You know what to do.
The fucking recoil's what's fucking me up. Oh shit! How do I dash? How do I go fast? I don't know how to go fast. Okay. Oh, switching to your pistols faster than reloading. Hi. Oh, Evie, why don't you collab with other streamers? Evie, why do you always stream by yourself? Because all these bitches want to play Valorant. Do you see this shit?
Dream work, V.
Okay, there we go.
Stand on the platform and we'll move on.
Yeah, if I ever had to play Valorant, I think I'd die. Actually, I have played Valorant, and I got called a slur several times, and I didn't like it.
Hacking's the next item on the
Which,
menu.
like, I played League of Legends,
Might
but,
notice
like,
I
in League of Legends, they
tweaked the
can't
course
talk to
material a
you,
bit.
you know? Pull down slowly when shooting? Okay. Alright. What's this? Hacking. Alright. Hacker man. Okay. Alright, approach the window. To the window! To the wall! To the sweat drop down my ball. Oh, wait, what? Scan. Server. Explosive. Okay.
This training module will
Not sure if I know
teach you
exactly what's
how to
happening.
apply technological tools to combat situations. Jesus, work a little hack magic on the screen to distract the guard.
Okay. I'm gonna put Ram Ranch on this screen over here. Execute.
Corpo trash. Style over substance.
How do I
Good.
sneak?
Now take him out quietly.
Okay. How do I take him out quietly?
All right, all yours.
Ah!
Take him out.
That's the TV. Thank you so much for the follow. Giving it on Gaslight King. Oh fuck! I have to kill him. Ah! Okay. You know,
Never
Gaslight
smart
King,
to
keep
leave
going.
behind any trace of your handiwork.
Welcome to the street. Wait, I have to...
Especially the dead kind.
Oh fuck! I
Now
have
pick
to...
up the body and hide
Ah.
it somewhere.
I just wanted to kill people with no consequence. I don't want to take responsibility for my action. Dumping body tutorial? Oh, shit. You can hide dead and unconscious enemies in certain places. Doing so will help you avoid detection. Oh, God. This is some yandere simulator type bullshit. Yeah, let me just take this to the incinerator behind the school real quick. Okay. Can I dump you here? Yep. There we go. Hi, Starbucks! Oh, wait. Nope. That didn't go the way I wanted it to. Okay. Do I put him in here? Oh, dump. Lethal. Oh. Goodbye. Okay. That was... This is gonna be... I like to just kill people and not think.
Now,
so now
try
I have
to take them down in one slick
Now
move.
I have to... think about my actions. I didn't scare her. Ah! There you go. Taking out the trash. There we go. We're taking out the trash. Fuck
Think
you
you're ready
guys.
to try hacking some gonks in real time?
Some
Have
gonks?
fun.
What does that mean? Is that... Okay. Alright, Tab. Hey, buddy. Goodbye. Gonk means idiot? Okay. Wait, what?
Now,
hack one of the guards and use
detonate the grenade.
Oh, how do I do that? Okay. How do I... Okay, detonate grenade. How do I do that? Is it just... Do I just press F? Hold tab. How do I select it? F is... Okay, bye. Did I win? Yay! Okay, I did it. I did it. Slaying this game is so important that the RPG book opens with a list of slang. I'm a jolly conk! Yes, you are. Yes, you are, bestie. New word for dumb people. Brain keepers. I love it. You'd love to see it. I kind of want to play Hitman, but I'm worried I'm too stupid for it. I'm going to be honest. Like, Hitman's one of those games where I like the idea of streaming it, but I'm afraid I'm just going to be a dumbass and be upset. You know what I mean? Oh, God. I might be too smart for this game. Or I might be too stupid for this game. Okay. To breach the network, you must recreate its code sequence by selecting characters from Code Matrix. David, is this how programming works?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I'm a music teacher. I don't know what the fuck a Python is, and I don't care to know. The character you select will be visible in the buffer. Oh, shit. Breach protocol always begins with the first row active. Select 55. Okay. Do I use the... Huh? How do I... Wait, what? Select 55. How do I select... Oh, okay, here it is. Okay. Then 55 again. Then BD. Then 55. Oh, so I'm just following a code. Okay. Program is now successfully uploaded to the network. I'm a hacker now. Watch out, FBI. I shouldn't say that. God damn it. If you don't succeed, try again after a time. I don't know why, but the way that's phrased, try again after a time. Okay, I will. There are no penalties for failing. Okay, I will. Do not F the FBI. Okay, this is gonna take some time to get used to. There's a lot going on.
See? Just needed to shut your brain down and follow orders.
I can
in
do
true
that.
Militech fashion. Under my wise command, you're a real champ.
Yes, ma'am.
Take your spot on the podium.
Okay.
Not too shabby. Militech's algorithms put you on a decent run. Got additional modules if you want to hone any other skills. Or you finish up, don't out now. But remember,
I probably should.
The street's not gonna give you any hints or second chances.
I'm not made for the streets. I'm made out of marshmallow fluff and dreams. Like, I am not made for the streets. But I also don't feel like doing the tutorials, so, fuck it, we ball? Yeah, fuck it, we ball. Hacking is always up, 1 up and 2, okay, I think I see what you're saying. Alright, I don't feel like doing all this tutorials. We don't need them, okay, we don't need them. We're just gonna raw dog the game and hope for the best. We're just gonna hope for the best, okay? You'll ball pretty easily, hell yeah.
So? Not bad, huh?
I think I did a good job.
Now we can get down to biz.
Bees. All right. Do you have any tips?
Will Kako give you any tips and tricks for the job?
I'm not your mother. Just do what I pay you for. It's easy work. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. I'm not just a good girl. I'm the best girl. And I'll ruin your life.
Elevator. This way.
don't get found, kill fast. Oh, I can do that. Okay. Oh god, not grenades. Oh shit. I guarantee you I'm gonna blow myself up at some point. If grenades are something I have, I'm gonna blow myself up. And when I blow up, I'd act like I don't know nobody. You guys remember that fight? The guy with all the teeth, the shark teeth. That was a good one. That was a good one. Okay. Garage. I think. What? Jackie, where are we going? Your daddy? Your daddy is the hero. Don't bring him into this. This ain't about
Target's Sandra Dorset. Target's
my dad's a nice man.
A couple hours back. Suspected abduction. Target could have possibly flatlined already.
That means died, right? Yeah.
We're in time, Bug. Sure you're on phones, but that don't make you any less part of this squad.
Yeah.
Squad. Charming.
Yeah. We're all in this together.
Look, could at least try to be nice.
You want nice, supportive? Call a damn helpline.
Aw. You don't like High School Musical? It's a song of my people. Alright. Clean needles for 01 donors. Oh. Should I have my gun out?
Looking for
Do I have a
1237.
big gun? Oh, I just have little gun.
Target
okay.
should be inside.
Thank you, David.
Zero eyes on her
The
biomod.
message, let's
Fingers
kill
crossed
some
it's not too
incels,
late.
got hell
I
for
hate this life or death shit.
Oh, wait.
Hurry.
Hey,
Try hacking the door.
hacking the door.
Think
What?
you can trip it on your own, V?
I can try. Okay, how do I hack? Okay, tab. I'm hacking the door. How do I? Okay, open. There we go. Okay.
Low profile.
Low profile. Okay. I like this music. When am I gonna start blasting?
Are we fucking late? Is that her? Is that her?
Sandra Dorset's protected under Echelon 2 corpo immunity. Our girl's top shelf.
Damn.
This one's
Okay,
packing
she's
black
fucked
market
up.
Zeta Tech repros. Typical back alley fix-ups. Not our lucky gal. Let's keep looking.
Alright. Hack the door. Did I not hack the door? Oh, I just fucking opened it.
Mira, eyes up. Pendejos ahead.
Not the pendejos!
Quiet, V.
I'm gonna be sneaking.
Calm. Where those spotters?
Shut up, I'm sneaking. Okay, perfect.
Nice. I couldn't have done that better myself.
Alright, what's going on over here? Hide from scavengers? Oh, we're just going. Okay, we're going. We're not hiding at all. Alright. Where's Sandy?
On your toes. More bodies incoming. They're almost on you.
Well,
Fist fuck these Reapers.
fist fuck.
They're coming. Your chance.
Find a signal. It's going.
That was probably a bad idea in hindsight, but that's okay. It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
Scavs are still crawling.
Nobody's perfect.
Clean it out.
Okay.
Don't want to be bringing the target out.
Oh
on the side.
shit!
And
I
definitely
fucked up.
don't
I
want to
fucked
slow
up.
down.
I should. Ah! Okay, crouch.
Not me.
Grenade. How do I grenade? How do I grenade? Let's go grenade. I don't know what the fuck I did. Ah! No! No! Fuck! Okay. So I fucked up. They dropped their weapons on the ground. Okay. I don't think I should have been blasted. Is this easy mode? I don't want to talk about it. I don't know how to. Do I have grenades? I don't think I do. Or maybe I didn't equip them right. If I need your body, I'll fuck it. Oh, damn. That's crazy. What makes someone a criminal? Getting cock. Oh, yeah, I could hack them. I didn't even think about that. How do I hack a person? Can I make their guns just explode? That would be cool. That would be a strat. Here. Okay. Let's try this again. And then be a good noodle. Jackie tells you to stay in stealth. Okay, maybe I should listen to others.
Low profile.
Okay. I'm trying this again.
Are we fucking late?
Anything cool over there? What is this?
Is that our target, V?
I'll try not to be a gonk. The baby pistol is good.
Sandra Dorsett's protected under Echelon 2 corpo immunity. Our girl's top shelf. This one's packing black market Zeta Tech repros.
What's this?
Typical back alley fix-ups.
On demand?
Not our lucky gal. Let's keep looking.
Okay. Let's try this again.
Mira, eyes up. Pendejos ahead.
Pendejos ahead.
Drop it quiet, V.
Alright, this one I know I can kill.
Careful now.
Alright, get out of here. Perfect. How do I quick save, by the way? Can I just do this real quick so I don't have to kill that man again? Okay.
Nice. I couldn't have done that better myself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna follow Jackie. He knows what he's doing. I don't. I'm just some corpo con.
On your toes.
F5.
More bodies
That's
incoming.
what I
They're
thought.
almost on you.
Let's fuck these Reapers.
Yeah, what do you mean by fist fuck?
Wait for your chance. Pick the prick off.
Find a single biofile.
Oh, my hack was blocked. Insufficient RAM? No, I don't have any. I'm out of fucking RAM. How do I?
Watch out. Don't mark us. Take one down. Just real quiet. Hey, grab the one closest. Let's take him. Suerte.
Can I just walk up? Got it. Okay.
Limp meat. Probably not the last of them. Move on. Move up. I'm behind you, V.
Okay. Why can't I kill you? Are we just sneaking? These guys are fucking dumb. Holy shit. Defeat the scavenger leader. Is there anything I can hack? Reboot. Let's try that one. Okay, got it. All right.
Guess where I'm aiming?
Fuck, huh? Oh shit, okay, now's not the time for a dead body. Oh fuck, okay, I just want to loot him. There we go, okay. Okay, fuck, I saw one over there. Okay, let me reload. Okay. Haha! Okay.
Don't see any movement on the sensors. Looks like you got them. You're clear to go.
Okay.
Shit, where the hell's our target?
Look around. Gotta be there somewhere.
I thought one of them had a big boy gun. I want the big boy gun. Handgun ammo? Don't mind if I fucking do. Need to look around a little bit closer, I feel like. I'm like really zoned in. Sorry if I'm not talking to chat as much right now. I'm like, whoa. Whoa. Ah! It's cool. Like the game like sucks you in, bro. Ah, worn biker shorts with composite inserts. What does that mean? Okay. What am I? Why do the booty shorts got an insert? What the fuck am I inserting and where? Okay. All right. Sandy. Got any info for me, Mr. Computer? Wait, put the shorts on? How do I unlock my cybercock? Hold on. How do I Inventory is I? What is this? What? No items? No items? Where's the booty shorts? I got an item. Where'd it go? It says I got booty shorts. Oh hell yeah! Big boy gun. Okay. Where are the shorts? Did I not pick them up on accident? Wait. Where'd the shorts go? I want the booty shorts. Did I not pick up booty shorts? My cybercock. You have 3 weapons at a time? Hell, wait, what the fuck? Holy shit, there it is. Okay. Oh my god, we have a ton. Alright, what do I got? This big boy, and I think this might be too heavy for me. We'll keep with this. Okay. Now where'd I put my fucking biker shorts? My booty shorts. I think I lost my booty shorts, bro. That's so sad. I don't know where the fuck they went. I thought I picked them up. Oh well, no booty shorts for me. No booty shorts for Evie. That's okay. I mean, did I? Yeah, I guess I didn't put them on. If you use your scanner, it'll show lootables. Okay. Oh, here we go. I got a windbreaker. Okay. I think that's all I got. I'm just checking. I'm like, where'd they go? I thought I picked up booty shorts. No booty shorts. Okay, no booty shorts. Oh well. We'll live without booty shorts. It's a hard life, but we can do it. Alright, let's see. Fresh meat. We won't forget, you're a dead man walking. Response. You're fucked. If any of your lackeys show up here again, they're in for worse than a split jaw. Oh, goddamn. Okay. That's not an empty threat. Try me, motherfuckers. Alright. Okay. Anything over here? Oh, the screen's all icky. Oh, the shoes were booties. Oh. Can I get booty shorts later in the game, though? I feel like a game like this has booty shorts in it. Got a lot of good Got a lot of good stuff. Hand from Zeta Tech uses biosignature, but we ordered a jailbreak. Militech lock on sites. No wonder where this gone got it. Arasaka hormone regulator. Okay. Sandra! Where are you, Sandra? Sandra? That's not very nice. This is like kind of beeping at me. What does this say? Why is it beeping at me? Is there something I'm missing? Let's see. Punk. Ooh, okay. The power fell. There's protein.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh shit.
Shit, V. I mean, I got a stomach.
What the fuck?
Think I got her. Got our target.
Oh fuck.
You make it? She alive?
No.
We'll have to find out.
Oh, maybe.
V, jack into our biomon. Need to know what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Jacking in.
This
I'm
does
jacking.
not look good.
I'm jacking. She's like kind of
Sandra Dorset,
alive.
NC 570442.
I did turn on
Trauma
Never
Team
Noodle.
Platinum.
Platinum?
I'm a good noodle.
Shit. Trauma should have swooped in if she sneezed.
Guessing they jammed the transmitter, Sig. Looking at a hacked
Oh, she's got that good
somewhere
health insurance.
reconfig or a neurovirus.
Carajo, T-Bug. You ain't seeing this place. This is tubs, ice, hooks, and cleavers.
Yeah, it's a little freaky.
Scott Muncher's hack, huh? Got an idea. Check her neural cord.
Find a shard? Yeah, pull it. That'll be what's muting the biomon.
Okay.
Found the shard. Removing now.
I trust
Check the biomon. Anything change?
Greetings, Sandra. If you are conscious, assume recovery position now. An emergency evacuation unit has been dispatched and is due to arrive at your location in 180 seconds.
Biomon claims trauma will be here in 3 minutes.
Holy shit.
Your premium plan will cover 90% of the projected costs of your rescue and treatment.
Oh, that's nice.
Pobrecita. Let's get her off that ice.
So she's alive somehow. Oh, fuck! What?
She's flatlining.
B, need to know what's going on.
Jackie, air hypo. Fuck,
this is bad. What the fuck?
Catch, Chica!
Live, bitch!
I think... Holy shit, it worked!
Fuera, Chica! Get her outside!
Holy shit. Okay, we're carrying a woman. We have a woman.
Fuera, get her out. Terrace.
Oh, God. I don't know why, but I'm afraid because I waited a second to put my salad bowl down. I'm, like, not gonna make it in time for her. Hey. You the ambulance? This lady's dead. Well, not dead. Oh, shit, sorry.
Security protocol. Follow all instructions. Stop in the doorway.
What?
Stop in the doorway.
Okay. Here you go.
Place the patient on the ground.
Okay. How do I drop her? Here you go. All yours, buddy. Yeah, what? Can I walk off the cliff while holding her?
Now.
What the fuck? Bro, when did the fucking... When did the doctor turn into cops?
To control. Patient
He's trying to help, but he pushed the shit out of me.
Secured.
I went like, what are they giving?
70 milligrams dopamine, 110 norepinephrine.
They're
800 for
EMTs and
Predigen.
SWAT? Jesus, fuck. Okay, bye. Jesus. Well, I killed people and I saved a woman.
Elevator gets us to the garage direct.
You pay them, they'll
Good
keep you
work.
alive no
Shit
matter the
show's
price.
over.
God damn.
Cutting my
Alright.
wires now. See you in the near future.
Look at all those dead bodies.
Listen, Chica, I got this thing. Mind if I
Ultra
borrow your
SWAT.
wheels?
God damn. Oh, shit. Excuse me.
I got a date with Misty, but I can't take the metro. How's it gonna look for me?
Trained to
Won't
go
leave
into
you
combat
hanging,
zones to
Jack.
get the patient out and alive
Don't
to
get
use, and they
used
will
to
clear
it.
the landing zone and have the tech. Oh, damn.
You're saving my ass, V.
Fuck.
Thank you. How about I drive you home, huh?
Okay.
She's all yours. I'm beat as it is.
Oh, almost forgot.
Hi, May. Welcome in.
Should get Wakako on the hollow. Tell her the job's done.
Okay. Wakako. I think I'm holding tea. What's up?
V, how did it go? Our client is alive and well.
Yep. Sure, love.
Of course she's alive and well. It's what we agreed, isn't it?
Splendid. Your payment awaits you. Ready to come and grab whenever you like, even right away. But I guess home is the only place you wish to be now.
Yeah.
The NCPD has surrounded Watson. The
What happened with
district
Dark
is
Souls?
closed.
It made
If you
me
make
want
it
to
past
not
the
stream.
quota, you must move fast.
And I like
Thanks for
streaming.
the heads up. Swing
But
by
Dark
to see
Souls
you
made me
later.
so sad I wanted to quit streaming altogether. So we don't play it anymore.
Turns out the NCPD is gonna
We're
put
taking
Watson
a
on
little break
lockdown.
from that. We
I'm
might go
gonna
back
sleep
to
in my own
Elden
bed
Ring and some of the
tonight.
other
We better
Dark Souls
put it in
games, but
fifth.
Dark Souls 1
Leave
fucked
it to me,
up
Chica.
mentally.
I'm driving.
Mental illness was abound. I have not seen Edge Runners. David has watched it and he really wants me to watch it, and I want to watch it too, but I haven't gotten to it yet. All right, here we go. Hi. I've taught the song, what's the song? I Really Want to Go to Your House, the song from Edge Runners. I've taught that to a lot of people, so I'm familiar with it. Time for watch party. How long is it? Because I do have to get up early tomorrow, so I can't stay up super late. It's like 12 episodes. Oh.
digging Night City.
It's very cool.
City like any other, just bigger.
Nah, chica. Not just any other city. Morgan Blackhand, Andrew Wayland, Adam Smasher. Legends are born here. I'm starving. Let's grab a tight bite. What do you say?
Oh, yeah.
Jackie, you're locking down Watson, remember?
Oh.
Oh, shit. You're right.
So no snackies?
Is it just me, or... Oh, fucking knew it. Man on our ass, tailing us.
Aw.
Hello. I don't like this beat. Not one tiny bit. Scabs!
Oh, shit!
de puta!
Fuck!
Fucking drive, Jackie!
Did you call me a puta?
Shoot!
Oh, fuck!
Keep her steady!
I am not a puta!
Hold V!
Fuck you! I think I got it.
Mierda, perdón! Got you, assholes! V, aim for the driver!
Ready? Oh, hey!
Chingado!
Aha!
Scratched your baby up pretty bad.
Well, that was fine.
Sorry, V.
It's okay. It can wait. Let's just focus on
Is
getting
he
home.
still coming? Jesus. Is we're going home. Guess it's fine now. Everything's fine now, I guess? Guess it's all fine. How you feel about Jackie? I like him. He seems like a homie.
Damn. They're pulling out all the stops.
I like him. Jesus Christ. Wait, did she just Healy over here? She like glid for a second. Do they got fucking Heelys in Cyberpunk?
Necessary security measure.
Officer,
Do the cops
ma'am.
get Heelys?
Damn, are we ever lucky we ran into you?
Really? What's it that makes me so special?
A heart of gold? Because only somebody with a heart of gold can understand just how much I need to get back to my girl.
Your girl?
Uh-huh. Gonna be worried sick if I don't show.
Which background did you
I
choose?
mean,
I'm a corpo
I'm trying
cunt.
to be a stand-up guy. Is she giving me a chance?
I'm a corpo cunt.
Waiting.
That's a shame.
Heelys is a Cyberpunk edition.
Look at him. No model citizen, maybe, but he's a good kid.
He's a good fella.
Let
Does
them
anyone
through.
remember that episode of
But they
CSI where
last.
someone killed someone while wearing Heelys?
Okay, on your way.
Because I was reminded of that the other day, and that was the funniest shit.
Ma'am.
Thank you, officer, ma'am. Yeah, there was an episode of CSI where Heelys were used as product placement. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, because low-key this shit was funny as hell. And I need you, if you don't know about it, you need to know about it. Hold up. Hold up. Where's the fucking, where's my, here we go. YouTube. Where is it? Where is it? CSI Heelys product placement. Where was it? Oh my god, it's not. I literally found it in a video essay. Here we go. Was it in, no, that's the iRobot one. There was one where this guy fucking, it was a video essay I watched. And this guy fucking, he was like, it showed him at the scene of the crime, and then there was a Heelys like wheel stained in blood. And it's like, officer, he was wearing Heelys. It was so, I'll link the video essay. Later in the Discord, because it was a good video essay. It was about like the history of Heelys and shit. But it showed a clip from that. Would this be considered a hit and run?
I'm loyal.
That's a good question, actually.
Staple in my affections.
I mean, maybe. You're on wheels?
And unassuming. You get it.
I get it. I get it. Oh.
Out of the car, now!
Hey.
Come on, ain't got all day!
Good. Check it out, V.
Where's my gun?
Get to here! Fucking shoot!
I don't think your guns are gonna help against that. I have not heard of old man Henderson, but good for you. Oh fuck. Yeah, you're. I don't know how you thought that was gonna go, bro. That's the actual SWAT. Jesus fuck. Yeah, they were, I don't know how they thought they were gonna win that.
Show's over. Poor bastards. But they had it coming.
Oh, shit. Damn, okay. Press F to skip the ride and immediately arrive at your destination. I'm kind of enjoying the vibing, though. Like, we're vibing, we're talking about how feelies could kill. You know, we're chilling. I'm okay. I like the music.
Made it. Almost at your place.
What about you? Not likely to make it back to Haywood now.
Chill, V. They'll let me through.
No, let him through.
Sure about that?
Cyber psychos,
Oh, yeah.
folks that are chromed up
nice
too much
guy.
and lose passion to reality. Damn, okay. We got all kinds of new addiction in the future. Substances galore to ruin your life with. Fuck yeah. I joined second watch the video later. Hell yeah. Oh, I love your movie. I hope you enjoy your movie. But yeah, remind me and I'll post it because it was a really good video essay. I'll post it in info dumping. That's where I post all my video essays. Oh, Emma, thank you so much for the follow. You are now a gaslight gatekeep girl boss. All right. See ya.
Tell Misty I said hi.
I will. Ahí luego.
All right. Also, is the game too loud? Am I too quiet? Let me know, cause I'm not sure. All right, let's see. Oh, perks. Body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. More body. Let's see. And then we'll do one in cool. Yeah, I like being stealthy. I like being. Oh, am I allowed to? Oh, it's two. Oh, okay, it costs 2. Okay. Oh, Warlock, thank you so much for the resub, gamer. You have 5 PlayStation 2s. Thank you, gamer. I really appreciate that. I'm glad to see you, bud, and I'm glad you're a gamer. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Alrighty, go home. Goodbye. Okay, let's see. This is a cool ass elevator. Oh shit. Who the fuck are you? Fashion. What is happening?
Rage! Fury!
Do I press the button in the elevator?
Good
There we go.
evening,
I was like, what's happening? Holy shit.
My first guest tonight is
We can sell the other 4 to my friends so they can play the classics. Hell yeah. Stats you only get full refund on once. We can send a refund any perks. It's okay. That's good to know. Thank you.
Praise be to thee, our Father in heaven. And our second guest is Karina Lee, host of the Chip In program.
I just feel like I feel bad whenever I like stop and look at things because I know I'm streamer. I have to talk all the time, but there are times where I'm just like, there's so much ambience happening. You know what I mean? Yeah, like even the ads give you like world building shit. You know, like there's just so much going on all the time, and I don't like dislike it per se. I'm just like, whoa.
Oh, stupid gates busted again. 3rd time.
Whoa. See what you like, you add 3 stacks to the max level of 20.
Gotta be
Okay.
some kind
I
of
walked past
scam.
my fucking house. Alright. Check your weapon stash. Okay. Yeah, let me look at I want to look at my crib. I could pull bitches here. Oh, I could totally pull bitches here. Turn on the TV, relax. The ladies love me, okay? Can I tell you that? I don't know, because sometimes y'all's TikTok names don't necessarily match up with your stream names. Someone in TikTok, I posted a video that was just kind of a joke of like, check your kids' Halloween candy, and then it was like my standee in the middle. But I made a joke and it was like, or I made that TikTok and someone was like, oh no, a Skyrim lesbian. And I was like, I didn't have the heart to tell them I'm not a lesbian and I'm bisexual, but it was really funny to me. Oh, I can't see my boobs. Like, is that just how, like, do people see my content and are like, oh, like, no, it's not Evie, oh, it's Skyrim gay person. It's that girl that loves women. He's like, yeah. But I love men too. I love people of all genders. If you're nice to me, then, like, I'll probably want to fuck. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm down for whatever, you know? I'm down to clown. I shouldn't have said that, but you know what I mean, you know? Like, I'm the type of person where if you are just, like, the slightest bit nice to me, I will probably develop a crush on you. Like, it just happens, okay? Like, if you are attractive and you're nice to me, I will want to kiss you on the mouth. That's just how it be, okay? All right, check my email. Okay, how the fuck do I check my email? All right, oh wait, incoming call. How do I answer my phone? Oh, okay.
Get your beauty sleep? No matter. Time you got up.
Hi.
I think I might have caught something when I jacked into that corpo's biomon. I know a neurovirus.
System malfunction.
Need to see Vic. Let him tell me what's got my head reeling and my stomach churning.
Okay, let me take you.
Where is my weapon
Brought you
stash?
right.
Getting up at the crack of 11 a.m. Yeah, too fucking early if you ask me. Alright, how do I access my weapon stash? How do I switch between jobs? Weapon stash. What is that? Is it over here? Oh! Oh, that's a lot of weapons. That is a lot. Damn, okay. So I can just put shit here. Knife, shotgun. I like my assault rifle, but I also like shotgun. So we'll do... I think that's a good loadout. We'll do that. Once you get iconic weapons and stash them, they'll show up on the wall. Oh, that's cool. It's like museum and legacy. Okay. Okay. Neato burrito. And then close. Open wardrobe. Let's see. You have 6 outfits saved. Oh, yay! Dress up time! Fuck yeah. Okay. Office blazer. We'll do this one. And this one. And this one. Actually, this is ugly as shit. This one. We don't have a lot of good clothing options right now, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay. How do I check my email, bro? Your look doesn't have to match the armor you're wearing. Oh, okay. Yeah, how do I fucking... I still don't remember how to check my email. How do I check my email? Is it on my phone? Oh, gotta use the computer. Okay. Where's my computer? Here we go. Oh, what's this? Milkshakey. Coffee. Yeah. Alright, here we go. Check my email. See if I got any new comments. Lottery. I don't know why, but the fucking cutesy faces and the hearts for the lottery. Drugs. Penis nanogel scam. No. No. This is a scam. No, not the penis scam. Oh no. Bro, I'm getting all these fucking messages, dude. God damn, okay. Vehicles picture may display an icon that comes with a built-in weapon. You'll find vehicles for sale. Oh, okay. Cool. Alright. That's neato burrito. Alright, let's talk to Jack. But before we do that, we are going to take a quick 3-minute break just so I can go get water, go to the bathroom, and then if you've been watching the stream since it started, go get water, go to the bathroom, all that jazz. I will see you in 3 minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. Bye! Where's the button? There's the button. Okay. That's my BRB screen. I hope you like it. I think it's pretty good. So go BRB screen. Okay, I'll be back. I found the fucking Heelys clip. Everyone shut up. Hold on. Also, welcome back. But I found it. Hold on. Let me show you. Because I found it. Okay, it was this video essay by this lady. And fucking... Where was it? It was right over here. So she's talking about, like, the history of Heelys and, like, why they were cool and all. And
As Heelys pop culture reference was this episode of CSI Miami.
Bronson, do me a favor. Make sure Wolf gets a picture of this. One of these guys was wearing Heelys.
And each year through 2006, the company.
But that was the CSI Heelys reference. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. But I needed to find that for you. It's so good. It's so good. And for what? I don't know why it's so funny. Okay, let's go back to game. All right. 2020 is the internet we know got wrecked by AI viruses, and they built it on 90 as GeoCities page. God damn it. All right. Jackie! Where's Jackie?
So, what? You embarrassed?
Hey, V. Regina Jones here. If you're looking for work in Watson, give me a call.
How did you find me? How'd you even know my name?
Who are you?
I know where to gather my intel. You could even call me a collector. Later, V.
You know what the worst thing is about this place?
Should be over here.
Hey, yo, V.
Hi.
How about a round or two? What do you say?
Don't tell me that's a Jinguchi dress.
Oh, elevator. Okay. If I told you that you could have some fun and make little eddies in a single stroke. Oh, a tournament. Okay. Flicking the chords of your opponents. What the fuck does that mean? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, let's take a look down. So I'm assuming he's at the entrance. But we got a job, whatever that means. I'm assuming the jobs are like side quests?
Festival is nearly upon us.
I think that's what it means.
The streets of Night City will come alive with exquisite multi-story.
I'm gonna turn the sound down just a little bit.
Floats. The festival program will also include musical performances by biwa virtuosos and theatrical performances in the No tradition. The sponsor for the festival is the Arasaka Corporation. And in an exciting development,
Side jobs, gigs,
even
and
Hanako
NCPDs.
Arasaka has announced her participation in the Dashi Parade.
I didn't think I ever had a stutter until I started streaming, deadass. I feel like I only like have problems reading shit out loud when I'm streaming. I feel like it doesn't happen otherwise, but like, I always feel dumb. Oh, fast travel. Okay, yeah, here we go. The NCPD will pay you to help fight crime. Don't want to do that. Gigs, fixers will contact you when you approach a gig's location, and fixers, these intermediaries, will inform you about local gigs. Okay. Well, what is the gig that I got? Where do I see my shit? In my journal? Meet with Jackie, find the ring in Kabuki, collect your gun from Wilson. Yeah, some of these are all far away, so we'll just do main quest shit for now. I'm assuming the stuff with Jackie is the main quest. Yeah. Hey!
Woman of the hour. Jeez. It took you long enough. Worked up an appetite just waiting. Sit down, let me finish this. Then we can drop in on Senor Vector.
Okay.
Mentioned something about a surprise yesterday. Am I remembering right, or just had a brain fart?
Probably both, because you usually forget
My
shit.
system's still malfunctioning.
But it just so happens, I think I might have
looking
bagged
at
us
the
a
buns.
sweet-ass J.O.B.
Go on.
I mean, maybe it's not as big as that, but just that it's fronted by a
I'm gonna
little
be
known
honest,
someone
I am
named
trying to
Dexter
read
Deshawn.
all the kanji I
Probably
come
the top
across.
fixer in Night fucking City.
I'm
Fat-ass
studying,
black
I
Jesus
swear.
of the afterlife.
I swear I'm doing my studying.
300 pounds of partly gold-plated cool.
Okay. What's the job?
So what's the gig? We meant to come out in one piece.
She is kind of mommy.
Well, our savior wants to tell you everything himself. Face to face. No pressure, but whole deal's riding on you now, chica.
Yeah, if you see me, like, look off and you're like, what's she fucking looking at? It's because I'm trying to read the kanji.
All right.
I've
Let's hear
been
what old
learning
Dex has to
Japanese
say.
now for a little
Set
bit,
it
and
up.
I'm getting better at kanji, but I'm still
Dex
not.
is a real
I'm still
deal
learning.
when it comes to fixers. Don't get me
So
wrong.
this is now
Don't got
study.
nothing
Okay,
against
playing
Padre
Cyberpunk
or
now counts as
Wakako,
study. Okay.
Dex
Okay.
is in a league of his own. You know what I'm saying?
I do not know what you're saying. I'm stupid.
No, really, no.
It's always the same story. You land on fresh turf, local fixer waves his dick around, but he's smiling, saying you'll be up to your neck in gigs and eddies.
Okay.
Still, all you are is another name in their little black book. Nifty tool for getting them a fat slice of whatever half-baked shit pie their client put on the table. Sure, you crack jokes over drinks, but in the end, it's biz.
It's biz.
Gracias a Dios. Estoy lleno. Brought your wheels. Gave them to my guy yesterday to smooth over the dents after our dust-up with the scabs.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Much appreciated.
All right. Well, I have my.
Some top-notch work
shit
Miguel
now.
did. Rides like it looks. Factory new.
We'll see about that.
So we rolling or what?
We rolling. Let's go.
Let's feel this factory new ride.
All right. Oh, there's my car. Whoa, driving time. Oh, wait, that's the passenger seat. Wait, no, this is my car. Okay, thank you.
First stop.
Oh,
Ripper
boy.
Duck.
Oh, no.
Chica, easy on the gas, eh? I just ate.
Okay, easy. Oh, shit.
I was supposed to stop by Vic's anyhow.
Do I have to
I got a
follow
date.
traffic laws in
Me
this
and
game?
Misty.
You don't say.
Oh, shit, that's the curb.
She's
Oh,
so
fuck no!
Really gets me, you know.
I'm good at driving. I'm good at driving. I know how to drive. 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 Wait, what's Q do? Oh, it drives for me. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, no, not entirely. Okay, wait. I thought it drove for me. Okay. Excuse me. Do I have to park? Oh, shit. Okay, yeah, good enough, good enough,
Yeah,
good
this
enough.
is it. Come on, V. Find me once Vic's done dusting your circuits. We'll hash out what Dex has cooked up for us.
Okay. The Ripper Duck. Wait, why does he have a little...
Goodbye.
Why does he have a death marker? Why did it let me kill him?
Big moves, Chica.
For your eyes do not belong to you, or rather...
Bye. It's time to go.
What are you in trouble with? Checking them out?
Oh, shit. That was... Okay, I thought the skulls above their head meant I should kill them. That is not what they mean. I don't want to talk about it. That did not mean what I thought it meant. Random violence is bad. I'm a good noodle. I'm not a murder hobo. It said, no, he's alive and well. He's alive and well. I would never. Nope. 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 In GTA, you'll build up a wanted rating if you fight the police. Oh, I don't think I've never actually played GTA deadass. Like, I don't know why. I just never did. Okay.
Ripper Duck.
Here we go.
Chica, easy on the gas, eh?
Easy on the gas.
I just ate.
Easy on the gas. Whatever you. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Hold on.
I was supposed to stop by Vic's anyhow.
Whoopsie.
I got a
Wrong way.
date.
Okay, there we go.
Me and Misty.
Easy on the gas.
You don't say.
She's so
Easy on the
sweet.
gas. Sorry,
Really
officer.
gets
I'm not
me, you
speeding.
know.
I'm not speeding. Okay. Easy on the gas. Easy on the gas. Oh, wait. Easy on the gas. Easy. Okay, there we go. Ah! Alright. Turn. What? Whoopsie. My bad. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whee! Oh, shit. I missed it. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yay!
Yeah,
Okay.
this is it. Come on, V. Find me once Vic's done dusting your circuits.
Okay.
We'll hash out what Dex has cooked up for us.
Afternoon, officer. What's going on now?
Or rather,
what's going on?
To you.
Huh?
Do you truly believe?
Checking them out? Nah, Chum of mine used to work here, that's all. Oh yeah? When you got those kind of chums? I'm from way back. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Hotel. I walked past it. What's this? Oh, that's cool. It's the crimes that they're recreating what happened. That's kind of cool. Barely illegal. Whoa. Okay. Hi. But this is much more relaxing than what was out there.
Evie.
I thought it said Evie for a second. I was like,
How do you know my name? Over here. Me and Misty got a little catching up to do.
okay.
You look pleased.
Because I am.
Are you the Ripper Doc? Kitty! Hi! Oh, can I pet it again? Again!
Everything sucks.
I love cats. Okay. Alright. Who are you? Is that a child? Are you a child?
I miss my sister.
Oh my god, why does that kid have a blizzy?
Okay, sure. How about a quickie?
What? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Drops his guard. You can see the fatigue on him. It's really starting.
I feel like if I were to play this game in VR, it would be absolute sensory overload. Ripper Doc. Through a common practice, cyberware installation is still a dangerous and invasive procedure which can only be performed by qualified specialists. Ripper Docs. There are several Ripper Docs operating throughout Night City who offer a variety of different cyberware upgrades. Okay. I get an ability.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, V. It's been a while. To what do I owe the pleasure today?
Last gig, had to jack into a client's neuro socket. Think I might have gotten spiked.
Experiencing migraines, nausea, hypersensitivity to bright
I
lights.
experience migraines, nausea, and hypersensitivity to bright lights just all the time.
Kid. We'll sort
Like
you
that's not
out
like
in
a
a flash.
that's just how it
Besides
be.
that, how are things?
Have you heard of Dexter Deshawn?
Met a new fixer. Gave me a job.
That's her
Name's
pimp?
Dexter
Oh,
Deshawn.
fuck.
Known quantity from the afterlife. No denying you're moving up.
Yay!
But something you're not telling me, Vic?
Keep your guard up, that's all. I've heard some things about Dex. He's not as chill as he makes himself out to be.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm looking to upgrade.
Need some new kit, but tools, not toys, Vic. Time I bumped up my sights and got a grip.
Really? Now? Finally?
Vic, shit's getting real. Got a job from Dex Deshawn, hitting the major leagues. Need tech that can perform.
The Dexter Deshawn?
Yeah,
well,
I keep getting system
that is
malfunction.
something. But let me guess. Hasn't paid you yet.
I got the money. Oh, I don't have the money, actually.
Quit crying, Vic. I'll bring you the eddies later, with interest. You know I will.
Last time. You hear?
So I just take a seat?
Chair, please. Sit down and relax.
Okay. Okay. Excuse me.
Kuroshi Optics. Best I've got, and should be about right under the circumstances.
Ooh. What are we doing?
Now jack in.
Alright, I'm jacking. I'm jacking.
You peruse and choose
I don't want
while
him
I
to think I'm a
scan.
nerd.
Let's see what's going on inside.
Okay. Hands? That's not available. Okay. Face? Basic Kuroshi optics. Minus 20 camera detection speed. Okay, sure. Implants! Yay! Okay. Looted cyberware in the world can be installed or sold in a Ripper Doc clinic. Do I have any looted stuff? Okay. Guess that's it. Do I have stuff for hands? Oh, I do have stuff for hands. Hell yeah! Okay. Increased ricochet chance. Ooh, real-time weapon info. That sounds fun. Inter-augmentary system. Subdermal armor? Hell yeah. Oh, I have no fucking money. Nervous system? Yeah, I'm all out of fucking money. Okay.
Mark 1, like I said. Decent enough scanner. Displays data on your cornea. Cherry on the top's a built-in external lens disruptor. In layman's terms, any surveillance cam will capture your face as a blur. And just remember, your body will still show up as crystal clear.
That's all people spot you for? Damn. I need to make more money so I can become full robot.
This should do the trick. Talks to Kuroshi Tech, too.
I want to augment my coochie.
I'm ready. Carve away.
Oh my gosh, she's skinny.
Excellent. Let's do this.
I think I'm related, but damn.
Lay that major league arm of yours right here.
Okay.
Just like that. Thanks. Now, a bit of anesthetic and I can start cutting.
Ooh.
Feel
Robo
anything?
coochies are canon? Oh my god. Okay. Feels like I'm at the dentist.
Play-by-play, though? Really, Doc? Makes you sound like a dentist. Always going on and on.
Don't be mean now.
Yeah, why is she so
Remember,
mean?
I'm old.
I just wanted
got
to be
a
like, yep,
shaky
it's okay.
Gannic
It just
hand.
feels like I'm at the dentist. And
slip.
she's like, you're boring. Why is she so mean?
All right.
Oh shit. I don't like that. I don't like that. I didn't like that. Like I said, I feel like playing in this in VR would be a nightmare for me. Like if I was playing this in VR and you did the little eyeball thing, I would fall on my ass. No ma'am.
Okay,
no ma'am.
let's test this. See the magic in action.
Okay.
Linking you in.
Whoa.
You might feel a little discomfort at first. Blurred vision, low contrast, glitches.
Ugh. I don't like this. I don't know why, but this makes me uncomfortable.
Well, how's it look?
No, it's just like a
Feel all right
contact.
to you?
Okay. That's it?
Seen more dramatic
No,
improvements
I meant like the pain was not that bad.
Patience, kid. Give it a minute.
She's so mean. Why is she so fucking mean? Okay. Scanning people with your optical cyberware can provide you with a lot of useful information. Okay.
Time for the scanner. It might take you a few seconds to adjust, but first time's rarely the charm, with anything, really. Scanner should eventually sync with your thought processes and read your intentions.
I'm choosing the mean options. Maybe it's the tism, because I don't think these are, like, I don't think they're mean.
I'd also inject
And then
an
she starts talking, and I'm like,
file
no,
search.
no,
Run into any ne'er-do-wells? You
Like,
know
that's not what I
exactly what they
want.
ne'er did well.
Database of wanted persons. A database of individuals with bounties assigned to them is now available to use. You can identify these wanted persons with your scanner. Since all are wanted, dead or alive, the methods used to claim your reward are entirely up to you. Oh, okay. Violence.
It ought to work like a charm. Now draw your weapon.
Can I say
You
something
should see your
fucked
ammo
up?
count in a
I
brand
could
new
never
sight.
have, like, cybernetics in real life. I pick my fingers, like, obsessively. It's not good. I feel like if I had, like, cybernetics, I would just, like, dig them out of my own arm. Because I'm disgusting.
Shit, Victor,
you know
not
what I mean?
bad.
Slightly
I don't know what to
different.
say.
Okay, well, at least I'm doing okay.
Say you'll take
But yeah,
this and
I feel like
remember
I
the
would literally
dosage.
just, like-
2 whiffs now, and another 2 in an
I don't know.
hour.
I get upset by it, and then I would just dig it out from my skin. What's this?
What am I looking at?
A mild stim. Should boost neurotransmission in the short term and muffle some of the side effects while the implant takes.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're the best, Vic. I owe you.
Showing that really leans on this. Yeah, it's
Go
very
on,
sad.
kid.
She's very sassy.
Show them what you're made of.
Okay.
And once you hit the big leagues, don't forget where you came from.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's go find Jackie. Check out my cool new shit. Oh. Okay. All right, Jackie.
Your heart chakra looks a little out of whack, babe. I can release it for you, but you'd have to watch out. anything red.
What the fuck is going on?
V, yo, listen up. I talked to Dex
Your
when you were in
chakras
with the
doing
doc.
okay, bud?
He's waiting in his ride. For you. Ain't but a hop to where he's parked. Next to Gramsci Burgers.
Okay. Do my best to talk us up.
Alright, well, I guess we're heading out. You have fun with your chakras then. Okay. Alright.
You are not the masters
listen,
of your memory.
I've got this delicate matter. That's why I called you.
Regina!
The number of cyber psycho attacks in the city is on the rise. Now that's probably not news to you, but this issue matters to me for a few reasons. There are people who say cyber psychosis can be treated.
Right.
And I know exactly how that sounds, but I believe even an unknown therapy is still better than a broken brain. If I get a tip about a possible
so many
attack, I'll give you a
sounds.
call. Maybe you can investigate before Max Tack hits the scene. But remember, you're not there to execute.
I am
anybody.
admittedly a little
Try to
overstimulated at
incapacitate
times
the
in
attacker, and I'll
this
send someone to
game.
pick him up.
Like, if I ever stop it, I'm just like... It's because I'm just like, what happened? I know how to incapacitate enemies. I'm good on that front. We figured that one out. Find and incapacitate cyber stuff. Wait, what? What's happening? Holy shit! What the fuck is going on? What is that? None of my business. Anyway. Oh, shit. Hey. What's up? Oh, hi.
Yo, Miss V. A pleasure.
Hello, sir.
Dexter Deshawn in the flesh. Ample indeed.
Let's roll. Mind if I ask you something right off the bangle?
Yeah.
Would you rather live in peace as Miss Nobody, die ripe, old, and smelling slightly of urine, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory, smelling near like posies, without seeing your 30th?
Nobodies don't survive in Night City.
You're either somebody or you fizzle out into nothing. Night City don't let you choose.
Oh, but it does. See, in my line of work, I choose to be Mr. Chill.
Mr. Chill.
But folk who try to take advantage, well, they see the beast inside. All right, listen close. Scanning a serious job now. Playing gargantuan compared to
Side note, I didn't know why I was getting in this man's car. It was just like, get in this car, and I was like, okay, I could have fucking died. Tell me more.
Let me hear it. What's the job?
There's this prototype tech. A biochip,
I'll be
to
honest.
precise.
I'd smash.
Jobs to grab.
I'd smash.
Simple.
Guessing it belongs to a corp?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, this can sound really
Surely
fucked
that's
up.
no problem.
Especially because I'm a vocal coach for a living, but I find smoking kind of sexy, but only
no
like
problem.
in
Just
media.
a death sentence.
Like the actual smell of
NC's
cigarettes and
Arasaka's
cigars
turf.
makes
Nobody
me like,
fucks with them here.
but like in media,
can I
if I
say,
see
Miss
someone
V?
smoking,
High
I'm like,
risk,
oh my
high
god,
reward.
that's so hot.
First rule
But
of the
like
afterlife.
in real life, I'm like,
Besides that,
ew.
I'm no redhead. Ain't gonna
Like,
leave
I
no
feel like
trace
there's
for them
some
to
things
follow
where
'cause
it's
we
like,
gonna do this
it's
clean and
fun
on the
and
hush-hush.
sexy.
We understand each
pretend.
other.
But in real life,
You work
it's
this
like,
out? Got a plan?
not for me.
Two
Not
things.
for me.
First, a conundrum with the Maelstrom boys. Needs active resolving that.
The Marvel
Second, the
propaganda
rendezvous.
worked too well.
Simple.
Yeah,
Client
yeah.
who brought us the job's anxious. She wants to parlay with one of the team.
Also, in Cyberpunk, you can replace your lung. You know what? That's true, actually. Yeah.
What's the issue needs resolving with Maelstrom? Got a beef?
Slot in the shard.
All right.
Got a classic tale for you. Psycho gang doing his thing 2 weeks back. Jumped a Militech convoy. Got away with the gear. Corp don't even know Maelstrom's involved. Now see, convoy was carrying the Flathead, a little combat bot, a prototype. And I need me that bit of high-grade military tech. 'Cause
Okay.
if we don't get that bot, we don't get no soccer chip. And we sure as hell don't get no happily ever after. But don't get excited. It's a single-use toy.
All right.
Now, I flat out purchased the damn thing from Maelstrom. Problem is, I did so from a gent went by the name of Brick.
Brick bodies.
I say
Build
when,
your body
because
with
Brick was the leader. 3 days after we'd sealed our deal, his friend and gangmate, one Simon Randall, aka Royce, plain dropped his ass.
Man.
Royce is in charge now, and I got no way of knowing if he aims to honor his predecessor's word. To add to this shitstrom, one Meredith Stout of Militech has developed an interest in said convoy.
Oh. So she's a corpo?
Corpo agent. What's she playing at?
Hell if I know. Been skidding around town asking after the convoy as if her life depended on finding it. The one lead she's got zip-tied in her trunk.
Sounds like she was waiting on the transport, got stood up. Monochrome in the back's probably her chief suspect. Got nothing from him or on him, so she's keeping him just in case. But she needs to find the stolen gear before her bosses learn she fucked up.
She fucked up.
Well, Miss V,
I don't know why, but the
that
way
is
she said
some
that like
impressive
tickled my brain a little bit.
Naturally, use that intel as you please.
Thank you for the E.
Preferably well. Of course, to do so, you'll need that frazzled cat's info. Sending it now.
All right.
Client. What's her thing? Why does she need to meet?
Woman's name's Evelyn Parker. Vetting her wasn't easy. Put the word out I was looking for any kind of intel.
Right, and?
Some brothers from Pacifica got back
Isn't
to me.
Pacifica a
Told me to
company
stop
for like
looking. End of
polo
convo.
shirts?
Anyway,
Like,
our little
for
client
rich
insisted
people?
on meeting someone with skin
Like
in
for
the
golf
game.
bros?
You know, who'll be there for it all.
Or is it hats? Maybe I'm
Yours
a
truly
little
will be
messed up.
remote. T-Bug ain't no people person, and Jaggy's only good at some things. I know you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Pretty much leaves
I do not know what he means. Alright, I think I'm good.
Think I got everything. Time I got to work.
Well, that's just music to my ears. I'll set up the meet with Miss Parker at Lizzie's bar. Flathead, though's gonna be all you.
Alright, yeah, I can do that. Alright. We'll skip the rest of the ride, I think.
One more thing, Miss V. Quiet life or blaze of glory?
Dolls mean something completely different in 2077, and they aren't the people that do taxes? Oh, are they prostitutes?
Later now.
Ah, shit. Whoopsie. Alright, bye-bye! Alrighty. Street cred. Whoa. Performing certain actions will reward you with street cred. Build your street cred. Oh, shit. Build your street cred to make a name for yourself in the Night City underworld. Doing so will open up new opportunities. Okay. So, I'm not good at having street cred because I'm
Jackster,
stupid. Oh,
talk
shit.
to Dex.
Hi, Jackie.
Yeah, Gordito's a big deal. Literally and not.
He wants to check us out.
Guy certainly knows how to protect his biz. Wants to put us on a
Just
few
walking
small
around
kinks.
while, like,
Prep work,
looking at
I
shit.
guess, before lining us
Oh my
up
God.
a big job.
Your
There's this
outfit's fucking
combat bot
awesome.
military
Holy shit.
prototype.
Pacific in this case is a
Maelstrom
section of
collected.
Night City. It's
Then
gonna be
Dex
pretty
paid
much
to
a
take
Vegas
it
or
off their
Disneyland
hands
until the
just before the
pulled out of
gang
the
goons
building.
had to switch up in management.
Right. Heard about that. Royce versus Brick. Hostile
I'm
takeover.
just looking around.
About sums it up.
Like, I feel like I could just
Dex
walk
wants us
around
talking
here
to
for a
Royce.
while, dead ass.
Gave
You know
the
what I'm
deeds of
saying?
some Militech agent too. But
Like, it's just nice
don't
to
know how
walk
much help she
around
stands
it.
to be.
It's a really nice, like, environment. Do you know anything about Royce?
Yeah, you don't sound thrilled. Royce, what do you know about him?
Yeah, I don't know why she had her arms out like that.
Junkie snow junk.
Cock Inspector, Twink Destroyer, and Wrench Stealer. Damn right.
Then there's the other thing. Gotta meet the client who put the job on the table.
You have cool hair,
Evelyn
too.
Parker.
You? Well, what's Dex gonna do? Ride around in his limo, chat chicks up on the hollow?
What's going on over
Parker
here?
wants
Is
to
it a
meet someone on the
magic show?
crew. Dex gave me the nod.
He must know what he's doing. So, how you want to play this? Maelstrom or Parker? What's first?
Maelstrom.
I say we knock on Maelstrom's door first. Pound, actually.
Órale.
All
In
in
that
victory
case,
crime
I'll
is
hit the
common
Whole
part of
Foods
daily
with
life.
my nose to the ground. Stick around. Hasta luego.
Hey, what's going on over here?
Hey, who's there?
What's going on over here?
Time for a bloodbath.
Oh, they do not like me. Okay, fine, fine. I just wanted to see what was up, but you know, we can do that too. We can do that too. It's fine. Oh shit. We can do that too. It's fine. I just wanted to see what was up. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. Sir, are you alright? Oh, he is dead. But hey, I got some Euro dollars. So it turns out in dangerous city. You know, I'm from Baltimore. You think I know this shit? Ooh, ricochet weapons. Okay. Don't go down alleyways and ask if that dead guy's really dead. Can we just put him in the dump? We'll just, put it, what's the button to drop it? And it's out of sight, out of mind, you know? Out of sight, out of mind. And I get a motorcycle. Yippee! Okay. Okay, let me call the let me call the lady. Let me call oh shit. Remind that eddies have already been in the estimated hands around someone 10,000. Okay, shit. Alright. Yeah, didn't I need to call what's her face? How do I get in my contacts? Meredith, yeah. We'll call her.
Stout, start by telling me how you got this number.
Okay.
No more than your number. Heard you misplaced a convoy.
Shut him up.
Oh shit, this thing goes fast. Holy fuck. Okay, no, back up. You're in no
Transport
position to
fuck-up's
negotiate.
toxic for you. I know.
Oh, let me,
So listen
come on,
carefully.
Come on.
You and me are gonna meet. See if we can't find a way to help each other out.
Mutual self-interest.
Okay, there we go.
Agree.
There we go. No, 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 no.
First exit off Skyline,
Okay, there we go.
driving towards the NID.
We're
Storm
good.
channel under the overpass.
We're good. We're good. Oh shit, I have to turn here. What? Okay, no. Go in. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm getting there as fast as I can. No. Okay. Now it's a straight shot. Smooth riding, okay? Fuck your traffic laws! Wait, do traffic laws, are they important? Is Night City gonna allow me to just run this red light? Wait, oh, it turned green. Okay. Excuse me, sir. No, shit. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, fuck. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let me just... Oh, shit. Oh, why is she just humping it? There we go. Okay. Everything's fine. Trust me, I'm a professional. Hi. I'm a professional. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Look lively.
Hi.
Meredith Stout. Take it you were the one to call?
Yep. That's me. Huh? Can I not talk to her? Oh, shit. The dialogue option went away. Can I shake her hand? I meant to shake her hand!
Thought you could blackmail me, bitch? Set conditions?
Oh. Wait, did I just...
Got any more for me?
I just want to talk!
Calm the fuck down! I just want to talk.
Okay, that was supposed to happen, right? I thought I genuinely, like, just didn't shake her hand, right?
Trap.
And I
Fucking thing ready?
All set.
Goddamn.
Now answer my questions. Honestly, forthrightly. Are you here alone?
Listen, I get it.
I'll tell you who's alone. You. Failed to recover that transport, and you're done. With not a soul willing to help.
Not another word.
No government, no law.
Do a
Hell
sweep
yeah.
now. Now listen close. This piece of shit Anthony Gilchrist. Is he your contact? Is he
very
the one who
beautiful
leaked
eyes,
intel on the
sir.
convoy?
I got no ties.
Got no ties to Militech. None.
Checks out.
So how the fuck do you know so much?
Come on, all corps use the same playbook. I know the game inside out. Listen, I know where the transport is. I can help you. Just want a favor in return.
I told you! I fucking told you! I'm not the mole! Jesus Christ!
Shut him up!
Unhand me now before I...
Her you can let go. Want to hear what she has to say?
Alright. You want info? I want a bot.
I need a bot. Flathead model. Guys who ripped you off have it. Promise me that bot. I'll point the finger.
You have a plan how to deal with
our
them?
character's so cunty.
Could just take it by force, but they're expecting payment, so I could go that route too.
Fine, the latter. But on one condition. You pay with our money.
Hey, okay. You want to front the bill, then sure. I know you spiked the chip.
Not the kind of subtlety they teach at Militech. Chip spiked with a virus, clearly.
I have no idea.
That is true.
Something goes wrong, I'm the one they'll fill full of holes, not you. Time you were straight with me. What's on there?
So if I wasn't a corpo, would I have done that
latches
whole
onto
quest and then
financial
given myself a virus?
Nothing you need to worry your head about.
Fine.
Sounds solid enough. I'm in.
Cryptid shard will contain... Ooh, to decrypt a shard.
You pay with that chip, and that's all you gotta worry about. Try to
Let's do this real quick. Oh, shit. Okay, 55. Okay, failed. Did I win? Did I did I win? I can't tell. It says installed and then failed. Okay.
Me and Eddie.
I don't know if I won or not.
And I'll be
on the
seeing
crit ship
you
or
real
clean.
soon.
You're making a mistake. This gun's already good as dead. She'll take you down with her.
Hey, don't fuck up my bike. Hey, where's my bike? Is that my bike? Oh, thank fucking Christ. I wanted my bike back. Okay. Alright, well, let's find Jackie. Woo! Alright. I don't know what all just happened there. Oh, shit. And, we'll just keep going. Thank you for hiding, Charlie. Whee! Oh, shit! I went to grab my water. Come on, come on. Hump your way to victory. Thank you. She like humps it, bro. Alright. As long as you get one hack done, you're good. Okay, good to know. Alright, we'll go this way, I think. I'm just fine. Oh shit! I looked at the map. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me, don't mind me. Sorry, I'm a student driver. I've never wait, what? Oh, I think I missed a turn somewhere. I'm sure that's fine. Excuse me. Oh. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm not a murderer. I'm just really bad at driving. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, we're rerouting. We're rerouting. Fuck, a roundabout. Okay. Whoops. Okay. This way. Then this way to the roundabout. Okay. Excuse me. Oh shit. Okay, I don't want to hit any pedestrians because the way the cops are in this game, if I hit a pedestrian, I am fucked. Okay. All right, here we go. Jackie! Excuse me. Oh shit. This is so silly. I know it's stupid. I know I'm just being bad at driving, but it's so funny to me. I'm sorry. Okay. Here we go. Hello, Jackie. I'm here. Oh shit.
There you are.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Beep. Beep. Beep.
Oh, let me hear what you squared away.
All right. Maelstrom, we gotta meet him.
So Dex already paid the maelstromers for the corpo bot. Thing is, can't be sure the Gangoons are still willing to hand it over.
Gangoon.
You paid up front? Híjole. Well, whatever. Let's go get this tech. You scheme yet? You got a plan?
Wait, what? Oh shit. What happened to my bike? Oh, I guess it just forced me off of it. Well, we don't have money. We can pay with
Militech and me, we found some common ground. They're footing the bill for the bot.
There's a lot of scratch to toss away.
Forget it, Jack. It'll be like we never had it in the first place. Anyway, who knows how this deal's gonna shake out.
So, into the Borg Beast Den?
Onward.
Let's go see these bastards.
All right, let's knock on their door. See if they even open up.
I think this is where we're gonna end for today. I'm enjoying this game. I'm down to make this kind of a regular thing for the foreseeable future. Maybe not always on Fridays, but definitely check the schedule for it. But gamers, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. Let me do my little button thing. Where's my button thing? There we go. But I liked that a lot. I thought it was fun, and I hope you thought it was fun too. So if you are new in town, see you choom. Yeah, goodbye my choom. So if you are new in town, I do have a Discord server where you can get updates about when I'm streaming, when I'm not streaming, when I'm streaming, all that jazz. We are doing a community event tomorrow where I'm gonna be autistic in the VC. And I'm just gonna info dump about whatever the fuck I want. I'm gonna be posting the VOD here, so if you missed some of the stream, I'll be posting it on YouTube. And then I also have a Twitter and a TikTok. So let's see who we can go raid. Oh yeah, let me put that video in the Discord before I forget, because it's important. It's very important. Here we go. Let me see. Oh my god, my mouse is like having a moment. Hold up. Wouldn't let me click on shit. All right, there we go. Alright, and we'll see who is live right now. Let's see, who can we raid? We'll raid Yara! Twinks and Twunks and Demons, oh my. Yeah, we're raiding Yara. She has Twinks in the stream title. We're raiding Yoro. And you know what? Can we do Bussy Buster raid? Yeah, we'll do that. Let me do... Wait, no, I need to add raid to it. We can't just say Bussy Buster. Yeah, Bussy Buster raid. And then add some emotes to it. Add some spice to it, okay? Alright, gamers, I will catch you on the flip side, and I will see you later. Bye-bye! See you on Sunday!